Nothing better than waking up to a hot cup of beans.
Hot steaming cup of coffee.
Some good old mushed beans with water. You know, they say that vegetables are soup when you put them in water. But listen. Beans are a vegetable. That means that coffee is a soup.
I picked this week.
Hoorah!
Hoorah! Who picked this week? I picked this week.
What is this, the 18th episode?
Yeah.
Do you want to introduce it?
No.
You want me to? No. Nobody introduced it. We're not doing an episode.
It's just going to be an hour and a half of silence.
We are not doing ASMR videos.
This is episode 18 of Beer and Fear. My name is Zach.
My name is Cindy.
Hey, Cindy.
My name is Paige.
Nice to have you on, Cindy. This week, I picked the episode. Actually, Steph picked the episode.
What?
She
doesn't even listen.
No, she doesn't. But
Interesting.
she suggested.
How is that fair to Scott?
La Llorona.
I'm just saying. How is that fair
How
to
is
Scott
that
and Max?
fair to Scott? Right? I'll check in with one of them. It was nice to hear from Max.
I just love Max.
Yeah, he demanded pet photos, and
I
you delivered.
I delivered, motherfucker.
So she suggested La Llorona. I had never heard of La Llorona.
I can't believe you've never heard of it.
No,
There's literally a shitty movie made about it.
there is a shitty movie made out of it, and
terrible.
I found that after.
Did
I
you
found
watch
that
it?
out after the fact. No, I did not.
Oh, God, do it.
However,
Oof.
there is a series we've been watching called BuzzFeed Unsolved, which I'd never seen before. I didn't know was a thing. She really likes it, and there's an episode about it where they cover La Llorona, and they tell all about it, and it was pretty cool. I liked it.
That's why I like the specific ghost fables and stuff.
Yeah.
It's so cool.
Yeah, but I had never heard of this one. So it's pretty neat. I'm excited to talk about it, and I'm really, really excited for the beer because this is another. I didn't intend it to work out this way, but this is another very, very unique special beer.
Can I tell you that I may have caught a glimpse of what the beer is?
Oh, you looked it up on the Excel thing?
Not on purpose.
That's fine. But did you then proceed to research and
No,
look?
of course not.
Well,
no,
then,
I would never do that.
Then you have no idea anything.
I
about
just
this beer,
remember
really.
something about something.
Yeah. So before we get into the beer, though, it's been a couple weeks. We didn't meet last week, which is fine because we had the episode about Goose Island.
Which we have another beer that I'd like to do a bonus
Yes.
episode for.
Yeah.
It's been sitting in my fridge, and I think Chelsea's looking at it like, I could drink that. No, I'm kidding. Chelsea doesn't like beer.
I like our beer bonus episodes. If you're listening to this one and for whatever reason didn't listen to last week's, you should do that because it's really good.
Dude, that was a wild time.
It was fun.
That beer was intense.
It was good. I wish I could try it again, but I only have one more bottle. I wonder if they still have it. I would buy another bottle of that.
Let me tell you. Let me describe it. Let me give you 2 to 3 word description real quick. Thick cakes. That is how thick. Thick.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was a cool beer. Check it out. But
It hurt my tummy.
We didn't meet last week. You wanna fill me in on how things are going with
I
you and your
started
life?
my new job, and it's very chaotic. I kind of enjoy it because it's simple in the sense that it's just just put things away, and I don't mind that. I like simple.
So it's you didn't really describe, and you don't have to, but you didn't really go into detail about what exactly it is that you're required to do or your position. Really,
We're just stocking shit.
Okay.
That's it. It's simple.
Decent.
I wanted something simple. 6 years of being a retail manager. God, I want to blow my brains out.
It is a nice change. However, are you struggling with your shift times?
I mean, I've kind of adapted to it, but it's just more like
it's not like I'm having a hard time falling asleep or waking up and being awake for my shift. It's because it's an overnight shift. It's like 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. It's an issue of adapting to changing your entire life around it.
Yeah.
So, like, you know, I mean, you do overnights, so you get it. So, it, like, you know, you go from, you know, working like a 9 to 5 or like a 1 to 9, where it's like, okay, you have the morning, you have, you know, after work. For this, it's like, you do not get to do anything until it's your days off.
Yeah, you wake up with the sun, and then you have the rest of the day to do whatever you want and see whoever you want, and people are still awake and doing things by the time you get off work. However, on midnight shift, it's the exact opposite of that. And it definitely takes me a while to adapt to it too.
It's a change up, and it's not like I mind it. I've met like a lot of nice people. I really enjoy the company of the people I work with. But I also just think it's like, it's so unorganized because it's so new that it's just like, and I'm not going to say where I work. It's just, there's not enough of them for me to be like, this is the company I work at. It's just a little hectic, and I don't know.
It's a job.
Yeah, if I'm going to work for $1 billion company, though, I'd really like it to be a little more organized.
I'm sure it'll get there.
When supervisors put off their frustration and the fact that they're nervous or they're stressed, it affects the employees.
It doesn't give you any amount of confidence whatsoever.
It doesn't help.
No.
How have you been, buddy boy? My leg hurts already.
Well, that's what I was saying. We need like a better setup here. More professional setup.
Maybe Let's go record at Audio Hive.
Oh, yeah. Shout out to Audio Hive podcasting studio in Joliet. On Wednesday, Cyberpunk 2077 came out.
Yeah, everyone's playing it, and it looks so intense. I can't believe you get to pick the genitals of your character.
Yep, you get to pick.
That is insane.
And when you're in the character selection, it's not male or female. Like they very specifically designed this game.
They use gender neutral pronouns.
Yeah, everything's very gender neutral in the game,
so they
which is cool. I respect that. So it's not male or female.
Keanu Reeves is in that game.
He is,
right?
He is. I know. Haven't gotten to that part in the game yet, but
sissy.
Yeah, that's why everyone was freaking out over the game because they delayed it for years.
I remember that.
It's a niche sort of genre that hasn't really been made much in video games.
What is the plot?
Something about a chip, and you got to get a chip, and then I don't know. Yeah.
You know what that felt like? Those memes that are like, describe your favorite movie without using any of the words.
Something about a chip, and then
describe Cyberpunk 2077.
And then you got to get the chip.
There's chips involved, like Tostitos, the Scoopables.
A genre that hasn't really been made in video games much. And then Keanu Reeves. So that all those things combined is the reason
Keanu
why.
Keanu Reeves in anything is just like that extra bit of spice you need in life.
That's why it got so popular. However, the game is completely ridden with bugs and glitches.
Yes, I have seen memes.
Hardly unplayable. But I still enjoy it. I'm loving it.
Hardly unplayable?
Hardly playable.
Thank you. Okay, I just wanted to clarify.
I mean, maybe it's a little of both. But I bought it.
Is it hard to play right now? Like, how many bugs are there? Like your average, like are we talking like GTA, like walking into walls bugs or Skyrim bugs?
Skyrim bugs.
Ooh.
Maybe a little more than Skyrim bugs. And then I don't know if you're like Fallout New Vegas when that came out for the first time.
I've heard
a lot of bugs in New Vegas. Yes. It's kind of at that level. Same thing. No Man's Sky. When No Man's Sky first came out.
You mean that piece of shit video game that sucks?
Yeah, the amount of criticism that it got, but it turned right the hell around. Though it did a 180, and now it's a really, really good game. So
sure.
That's what a lot of people are hoping will happen with.
Dude, when I bought No Man's Sky, the lady at GameStop was like, "Are you sure?" And it was like years after it came out. I was like, "Oh, I really wanted to try this game. It's on sale. Like, I'll buy it."
Do you realize what you're doing?
Are you really sure you want to play this? And I came back the next day, and she was like, "I didn't want to say I told you so." I was like, "Well, bitch, you were right. It was terrible."
Yeah, the game's not really living up to its expectations, which is not surprising.
I mean, the graphics look beautiful.
The graphics are really nice, but it was a very rushed game. So,
oh, God, yeah.
Hopefully within the next...
They'll patch it.
Several months.
They'll get there.
Yeah, it'll kind of recover and pick itself up. It's got really good reviews from critics, but not really good reviews from the general user base. Okay. So, what else? Oh, I went out to breakfast for the first time in forever, which was really nice.
Where'd you go?
Alexander's.
I haven't been to a restaurant in like ages.
It was nice. It was a nice change.
God,
nice
I
change
miss
up.
having a life.
Yeah. Yeah, it was nice to go out. We were the only ones in the restaurant, too, because it was pretty late. It was about an hour before they were supposed to close, and there's really not many people going out to breakfast places anyway. It was nice to support a business like that. I'm glad that some of them are still open. I don't agree that everything should be closed permanently, because what are these people supposed to do about work? They're not getting any support from the government.
Dude, the thought process is really flawed.
Yeah,
Because it's like, okay, Target, you stay open. PetSmart, you stay open. Big businesses, you stay open. But mom and pop shops,
Yeah.
you need to close down for the sake of
y'all.
COVID.
So
So that's some bullshit.
it was nice. A lot of them were operating on different hours,
Yeah.
limited hours, but it was nice to go out. And
Another thing that sucks is restaurants. It's like, oh, get delivery through like DoorDash, Uber Eats, or whatever. And it's like, I guess they lose like a significant amount of profits when they partner with Uber Eats and DoorDash.
I wouldn't be surprised. The amount that DoorDash or Uber Eats probably takes is the majority, percentage-wise. However, it is still a nice option, because that's
When you're in a time where you cannot exactly be picky,
now that's really where most of their profits are coming from.
you got to pinch and save where you can at this point.
Yeah. So support your local businesses.
Yeah.
Let's get into the beer, because I know how much the 5 people who listen to this enjoy listening to us talk about our lives and how boring they are. So for La Llorona, which you'll figure out what it is. Paige describes it.
That's
It's
what
a
I
ghost.
do.
It is a ghost, and she's sad. So the beer I picked was called
Sad.
Of Solitude and Sadness by White Pony Microbrewery. Of Solitude and Sadness. So this brewery began in 2013 in Padua, Italy. Italy is not in the U.S.
Zach.
I don't know if you know,
Whoa.
but
We're drinking a beer from a country shaped like a boot?
yes, this is our first international beer.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah,
Famosa.
most of it's not a beer. I forgot about
You just
Famosa.
forgot about
I'm not even going to count that. This doesn't matter. It's fine.
You better leave that in. I want everyone to hear this.
Yeah, we didn't celebrate with Famosa. This one I'm happy about, because this is a microbrewery. This is a craft beer. But look at this. This is the streets of Italy here. I got it pulled up on Street View, and I think that's just the entrance to the brewery. It's like this garage door type deal, which is pretty neat.
Fancy.
And then look at how nice Italy looks.
That's just what they want you to see.
Yeah. So it's like all these doors, and it's like this long street, and all the doors just open up to different businesses, and they
You know
got
what you
this.
should go look at? Venice. That place is dirty.
Venice is cool,
That's dirty.
but that's a cool little graphic on the garage door. And then this is
Ooh, pretty.
that's a photo of the inside. Looks
I
it's
like
nice.
the random person.
Yeah. Well, people. I mean, it's a brewery, so
Well,
people
yeah,
sit
no
down and
fucking
eat there.
shit, but I'm just saying, just the random dude, the picture of him. And it looks like he's got his head on his forehead, and like he's just like, oh, my wife, she don't like my pasta. I know what to do. I don't know what to do.
It is incredibly insulting, but
That's all Italians are. I'm sorry, Italian people.
my wife, I don't like my pasta. Okay, moving on. In 2013, a guy. This is very broken English.
Okay.
So,
A guy.
this is pulled straight from the website. In 2013, a guy, son of a Italo-Belgian family, was not able to find a safe job as nurse,
As nurse.
and with his last few money, had brewed a batch of 10 hectoliters.
Hectoliters.
It's 264 gallons.
That's a lot.
That was sold out in a week. He then reinvested for months the money earned, being so able to expand the production. Here we are. In 2016, White Pony has brewed 1,250 hectoliters.
But it's 2020.
It's outdated.
This is old.
Just over 33,000 gallons, and sold its beers in 25 countries.
That's impressive.
Yeah. The philosophy. We brew
Philosophy.
intransignant beers.
What?
I don't know what that
They
word
meant
means.
interesting?
Nope, intransignant.
Look it up.
Intransigent.
What is that?
I said that wrong.
I mean,
Looking it up now.
sound it out, you know?
Refusing to agree or compromise. Uncompromising, inflexible. So they brew intransigent beers.
They brew unflexible beers.
Refusing to compromise, so they push the boundaries.
Sure.
Inspired by the ancient Belgian knowledges, but with an innovative and experimental approach that we use to call extreme brewing, trying to share our emotions and spread our feelings at every sip. We are not here to tell you that we use the best ingredients. It's just obvious. All our adjuncts, spices, herbs, etc., are organic and fair trade. What we love to do is push the limits of brewing, crossing every barrier in the brewing process and using the plus 50% ingredients of a classic brewery. This to brew beers out of the core with passion, knowledge, and innovation.
We're not here to tell you that we use the best ingredients, because we don't.
No, it says it's just obvious.
I know, but still.
Because we don't. P.S. A part of the profit is shared every day and every month with people that does not have enough to live and organizations that care about the planet and the humans.
And the humans.
As beer is not just a fluid to drink, it's sharing.
Beer is not just a fluid to drink. Put that on a t-shirt.
That should be a t-shirt. I don't know if this is Google Translate Italian from English, or maybe his English just isn't the best, whoever wrote this. That's fine.
Look, they're doing their best.
We get the message. We can follow.
It's not just a fluid to drink.
Not just a fluid to drink.
It's to share.
White Pony Microbrewery has approximately 60 seats and 8 beers on tap with bottles you can buy and Italian street food you can enjoy.
Ooh. What is Italian street food like?
I don't know. Look it up. It's probably got like prosciutto or something.
Oh my God, that was such a nasty tone.
Prosciutto and bread. Of Solitude and Sadness is a quadruple ale.
Common Italian street food.
Yeah, I'll pause while you look that up.
No, you're good. I'm listening. Ooh, there's a lot of good looking stuff, and I don't like pastries usually. I'm sorry, pastas. I love pastries.
Oh, pastries. So Italian street food.
Sounds good.
You can get at White Pony.
Ooh,
So this is a quadruple ale, seasoned in Calvados barrels.
What are those?
No further description
Okay, what are those?
of the beer. Calvados is an apple or pear brandy from Normandy in France, and it's barrel aged.
I always like it when beers brew their or age their shit, and like my brain just stopped.
Like the Goose Island beer.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was
and like the
barrel aged in whiskey.
the barrels that are used for different things.
So it was aged in Calvados barrels. There's no description of this beer on the website. It's just a quadruple ale seasoned in Calvados barrels. I had to pull a lot of this stuff from other websites. So quadruple is a type of beer with an ABV of 9.1 to 14.2.
Damn.
No real source cited that. It's just something I pulled from Wikipedia. So I'm sure it's not like a strict requirement that the ABV needs to fit within that range. But they're strong beers. We talked briefly about one of the other episodes, duples and then triples. Remember? Mm-hmm. So this is a quadruple. It is a Belgian-style ale of great strength with even bolder flavor compared to its sister styles, double and triple. Typically a dark creation that plays within the deep red and ruby brown end of the spectrum with garnet hues. It is a full-bodied beer with a rich malty palate and spicy aroma, sweet on the palate with a low bitterness yet well-perceived alcohol. Quads are well-suited to cellaring, so they're good for aging.
I thought you said celery.
They're well-suited with celery. Pair this with celery.
That sounds disgusting.
There is little agreement on the status of quadruple as a beer style, so it's debated as to whether or not it's an actual thing. But it's just a strong Belgian style ale, really. This beer is no longer produced. According to the bottle, it says Collection MMXVI. Roman numerals is 2016.
So it's no longer produced. Where'd you get it?
Binny's.
They just had.
There was one Binny's in Wheeling
Yeah.
that had 12 bottles of this beer. That's
Where the
it.
fuck is Wheeling?
Way over by Arlington Heights.
You travel too much for this shit.
No, I drive to every Binny's all over the place. Because if the store has a beer that I got and it's not in frickin' North Chicago or way down south in Champaign, I'll drive over and get it.
I appreciate your dedication.
Yeah, so this one Benny's had this beer. Only 12 bottles. I bought 2 of them. And it may have been brewed in 2016, according to the label. So this beer is about 4 years old. I'm surprised it was still in stock. ABV is 12.5%. No IBU or SRM listed. And Beer Advocate doesn't even have a score for it. It's only been rated 5 times and reviewed twice.
Oh, wow.
The average rating is 3.81. So this beer, there's nothing on this beer. Here's the Beer Advocate page for it. No picture.
Trust me, I already looked.
No score, nothing. So the reviews, though, are mostly positive. Like I said.
Kind of like an average thing.
3.81.
Yeah.
So let's get it.
What other beers does White Pony produce?
They do have a current lineup. If you go to their website, it's whiteponymicrobrewery.com.
I typed in White Pony and I forgot that's a Deftones album.
Yeah, whiteponymicrobrewery.com in Italy. They do have a, they're still doing it. They're still making beer. And you can look at their current lineup. But this beer you cannot find on their website at all. They just completely got rid of it.
I wonder why.
They haven't made it in 4 years. It's just the cycle, you know?
Yeah, I get that. But like, wouldn't you be like, these are the things we produced at some point? Okay, what do you got here? What do you got here? Bunga Bunga.
Bunga Bunga.
It's one of their beers. They don't have a lot.
Nope. Microbrewery.
Yes, Zach, I understand what that means.
We should open up a microbrewery.
This is feeling a lot like How I Met Your Mother. We should open up a bar. What do we call it? Puzzles. Why is it called Puzzles? That's the puzzle.
I never saw that.
Would I be down to do that? Hell yes. Will it ever happen? Most likely not.
Probably not. Oh, wait. Hold on. Hold your horses. Look at this bottle.
Sorry.
Look at how plain and not interesting it is. It just says...
I love that you picked this beer and you're roasting it.
Well, I didn't know how the bottle would look. But it's very plain. Of Solitude and Sadness.
Well, I mean, with a title like Solitude and Sadness, I don't think you'd have anything fun.
Nothing on the cap. It's just a blank cap. Quadruple ale seasoned in Calvados barrels. Really not much more to talk about. Ooh, it's a tight cap.
I don't think Scott's bottle opener can handle this. Ah, there we go.
There you go.
I did it. I'm Seepies.
Well, this beer is going to wake you right up, I'm sure.
I think that that's wildly inaccurate, sir. Okay, I can pour this. I am not going to spill. That is a dark beer.
It's a quadruple.
It smells nice. How does coffee and beer mix in someone's stomach?
Probably not well.
Oh, fuck.
I imagine this beer will be akin to Goose Island. Not quite to that level, though.
It doesn't smell as
No,
like,
it's not a stout. It's an ale, so it's just a...
I just want to keep smelling it. I like
smell in
it.
the glass. The aroma really opens up. It smells very spicy. What does this remind me of? This reminds me of...
What up, bitch?
What? This reminds me of... Oh, they're not there anymore.
I'm just saying that my pour was good.
What was... Okay. What was Apex? What happened to the... Oh, zombie dust is like creeping back there. You see that? I hit zombie dust. I think it's because my neighbors upstairs are fucking obnoxious.
They're probably going to knock it off
Yeah,
the
when they
shelf.
walk around. See, some of those beers are like starting to hide back there.
Did you have them all like laid out, like flat?
No, they were all like... So every other beer is on the edge of the shelf there.
Yeah.
New update, I got a floating shelf
zombie
finally.
dust is like
Zombie
right
dust
on the
is-
fucking edge.
It's
You need to
creeping back
push
there, yeah.
that.
I need to figure out a way to make sure that they don't fall because my neighbor's annoying. But
Yeah. What were you saying about Apex Predator?
Apex Predator. What beer was that?
Apex
What kind of beer was that?
Session?
Session what?
Pale ale? Maybe?
I thought it was a darker beer
I don't think so.
because this is reminding me of one of those early dark beers that we did.
I don't remember.
I'm looking it up.
Okay. I don't rightly remember.
Apex Predator was a farmhouse ale. That's why it's such a niche style.
Is it Session?
No.
No?
It's just this farmhouse ale. I don't know. Maybe it was Stranger Than Fiction, which was a porter. But this kind of smells like either one of those two. I can't remember which one. Probably Stranger Than Fiction. It's very spicy and dark and just...
Yeah,
It smells-
farmhouse ales are light.
It smells boozy.
You smell boozy.
Not yet. I will after consuming this beer. You done admiring your pour over there and smelling?
It
Wanna
smells really good.
clink and drink? You got high hopes for this?
I don't know how I'm going to like it.
Yeah, we'll find
Because
out.
I've had very, very mixed opinion on the Goose Island. Because it was just very heavy.
Yeah.
Also, this looks like Pepsi.
Whoa. I don't know if you'll like it. I don't. Just drink it. Don't lap it up like a cat.
You weren't supposed to let them know.
It reminds me of. I would swear I'm drinking a porter or a stout. It's just that dark. Can you? I don't have a good way of editing out the.
I gotta get my mouth feel for it.
No, but that's a good way to taste things.
It reminds me very much of Goose Island.
Yeah, last week's beer.
Not nearly as heavy.
No,
Like, God, nowhere near as
not
heavy.
quite as.
It's much. You could drink it a little bit faster.
Yeah.
Rather than having to like sip it slowly. What
There's
did
no-
you say? What was the name of the stuff that it was aged in? The barrel.
Oh,
brewed in? Started with a C.
Yeah, started with a C. Calvados. It's an apple or pear brandy from Normandy.
I'm not a huge fan, honestly. It's kind of.
You can. I don't know. You can taste the.
It's weird. Once it hits your tongue, it kind of like fizzles.
Yeah, it's sweet a little bit, but it's mostly spicy and just dark. It is very similar to Goose Island. It's not. There's no obviously whiskey or bourbon.
Yeah.
After taste infusion with that, and it's really not. There's no chocolate or cocoa or caramel or anything like there was in the last beer in Goose Island. It's just it feels like I'm drinking a stout or a porter. It's just so dark and spicy, very malty. It's not a bad beer. It's I don't know if it's just because I'm drinking it it's almost 3 p.m. And I'm not eating anything with it. Your face. We ate right before this, but we're not eating anything with the beer. I'm trying to think. Cut that face out. I'm trying to think if I don't know. It reminds me of like Guinness almost. So I'm thinking if I had this with food, like some kind of Irish meal or something, I would enjoy it more. I think it would pair well with whatever I'm eating. But
I don't really like it.
on its own,
I'm not gonna finish it.
yeah, it's I don't know. It's maybe not a cup of tea.
Back to the coffee. I mean, I can taste that there's like, it's not a horrible flavor. It's somewhat enjoyable, but I
Yeah.
just feel like it's not my type of beer.
Yeah, I don't think it's mine either. But I will. I can look past the subjectivity of it and say it is a very good, decently brewed beer.
It's well brewed.
Yeah.
I won't argue that. I just think that
On its own, I don't know.
I'm just not impressed.
Not a thing.
Not for me. I mean, let's be honest. Like, there are beers that are just lazy and shitty, like Famosa.
Well, I wouldn't call this lazy or shitty, but I agree.
I agree. That's what
agree
I'm
with you.
saying. Like,
Yeah.
it's well brewed. It's
Yeah.
brewed to be, flavorful
Right.
in its own way. It's just for me, I'm not enjoying that bouquet of flavor.
It is strong though. I can. I gotta be careful sipping this.
Maybe you need to pace yourself there, buddy.
I'm already halfway through my glass.
Yeah. And you're gonna have to drink the rest of mine too.
No, not gonna happen.
No.
But this is cool though. I was excited about this beer.
I think from now on, what we need to do is you just let me take a sip out of your glass before I pour the beer.
No, that's not fun. I'm excited about this beer because it's from Italy, and I'm very happy that from it. See if you look on the bottle, it says, "Oh, maybe it doesn't." Oh, yeah, there it is. Oak Barrel Aged Collection MMXVI. So 2016. I'm thrilled that after 4 years we can still get this beer in the U.S. at Benny's.
That is wild to me that they
yeah.
don't produce it anymore. Which also, like, okay, they don't produce this anymore, and you can find it in a Benny's. But every other fucking beer that I've ever tried to get for this goddamn show that is still produced, you can't get your hands on.
No.
Like, what are the fucking odds of that? That's fair. Like, oh, this is brewed next door to your fucking house. We don't sell it here. Okay.
That's true. Cool beer. But
I'm not blown away.
So we'll take a second here and figure out where this falls.
Oh yeah, we're gonna read it. All right, let's get into it. Let me tell you though, real quick, like I was explaining to you earlier, my brain is on dial-up right now. I woke up at 4 a.m. and I have been up since.
You should take a nap at some point.
And I am a
Paige.
sleepy little baby.
Gotta take a nap.
So I'm gonna do my best and hopefully not mispronounce words.
Well, you will, but
Hey.
it'll be. I mean, that's the norm at this
Maybe
point.
they'll just find it endearing.
Yeah.
Whoever listens to this.
Yeah.
La Llorona.
La Llorona.
La Llorona. In Hispanic American folklore, La Llorona.
Why are you so quiet?
I'm tired. The Weeping Woman.
In Hispanic folklore.
The Weeping Woman, or the Wailer, is a ghost who roams waterfront areas mourning her drowned children.
Oh.
In a typical version of the legend, a beautiful woman named Maria marries a rich ranchero with whom she has 2 children.
Ranchero.
Ranchero. One day, Maria sees her husband with another woman, and in a fit of blind rage, she drowns their children in a river, which she immediately regrets. Should have done it in the first place, bitch. She said, "Get out of there! No more bubbles! No more! Stop breathing! Why don't you stop breathing?"
Fuck. Oh. Dang it.
Oh, why did I do that?
Every time.
My taxes. Do you know? Oh God, the tax returns that some people get when they got kids. Let me tell you. Mm. But then again, it's got to go into like raising the child, and then that's just a big old inconvenience. You know. Unable to save them and consumed by guilt, she drowns herself as well, which I would love to see the dynamics of that.
That apparently is a really hard thing to do.
Yeah.
Drowning yourself.
Well, your body would be fighting you the entire time.
Yeah, it just doesn't let you do it.
Yeah, because you have survival instincts. It would be like, go up to the surface, breathe air. But is unable to enter the afterlife without her children. In another version of the story, her children are illegitimate, and she drowns them so that their father cannot take them away to be raised by his wife. Reoccurring themes and variations on the La Llorona myth include white dresses, nocturnal wailing, and an association with water. The legend of La... What if that was just it? That's it, I'm done. The legend of La Llorona is traditionally told throughout Latin America, including Mexico, Central and South America. La Llorona is sometimes conflated with I'm not really sure how to say it, Malinche,
Okay.
I think.
Spell it.
I mean, I would just say Marina.
Okay.
That's another name for it. The Nahue, Nawas woman who served as Hernan Cortez interpreter and also bore his son. Marina is also considered both the mother of the modern Mexican people and a symbol of national treachery for her role in aiding the Spanish.
Marina or Marina? Or Maria?
Marina.
Oh. But her name was Maria.
Marina.
La Llorona, the ghost.
Did not know. Hang on.
Yeah.
My brain is loading.
Yeah.
She's sometimes compared with this other character. Who is Marina or La Malinche.
It's confusing.
Yes. Anyway. Stories of weeping female phantoms are common in the folklore of both Iberian and indigenous American cultures. Scholars have pointed out similarities between La Llorona This is a fucking Aztec word. It's just, I mean, my heart wants to say Chihuahua, but it's not.
Because it kind of resembles the word.
Yeah, exactly. Siwacote, or snake woman.
Oh.
Me, I am the snake woman. But this person of Aztec mythology, which I saw something recently to bring up Aztec.
Oh, good. You saw something.
Yes, I did. I have eyes. No, that was like, there's like memes that'll be like uncomfortable timeline facts throughout the world.
Yeah.
And one of them's like that Oxford University is like centuries older than the Aztec Empire.
Oh.
Isn't that weird?
Ooh.
Right?
That is weird.
Uncomfortable.
I didn't know that.
As well as Eve and Lilith of Hebrew mythology. So I'm guessing she's got this comparison to like...
I don't know. My head's swimming.
Dude, I'm like
This beer.
wrecked right now. But okay, so Eve and Lilith, I want to say that Lilith was Adam's like original wife or something. I think it depends. Yeah, right?
Mm-hmm.
She was made into a demon.
That sounds right.
I think so. Hang on, let me look. Yeah, she was his first wife. She was made from clay. Where was I?
Something about Lilith.
Oh yeah. Okay. So she has a similarity between the snake woman, like I was saying, and Eve and Lilith of Hebrew mythology. Author Ben Radford's investigation into the legend of La Llorona, published in Mysterious New Mexico, found common elements of the story in a German folktale dating from 1486. La Llorona also bears a resemblance to the ancient Greek fairy tale of the demigoddess Lamia, in which Hera, Zeus's wife, which Zeus fucking down with everybody, showed up to a lady as a goose. That happened.
As a goose?
Yeah, he was a goose in one. I think he was an eagle in another.
I want to be a goose.
He'd be fucking. Hera, Zeus's wife, learned of his affair with Lamia and killed all the children Lamia had with Zeus, as one is apt to do.
Right.
Out of jealousy over the loss of her own children, Lamia kills other women's children. Lamia got problems.
Lamia, you messed up.
Yeah.
Get some help.
Yeah. While the roots of La Llorona legend appear to be pre-Hispanic, the earliest published reference to the legend is a 19th century sonnet by Mexican poet Manuel Carpio. The poem makes no reference to infanticide. Rather, La Llorona is identified as the ghost of a woman named Rosalia, who was murdered by her husband. What do you go into, by the way?
I just tell personal accounts of
Experiences with La Llorona? Okay.
That's it.
So it's different per region. In Mexico, the legend of La Llorona is deeply rooted in pop culture there. Her story told to children to encourage them not to wander after dark, and her spirit often evoked in artwork, such as the art of Alejandro Colunga.
I bet if you say it enough, you'll get it right.
In the United States, specifically in the southwestern United States.
Like Arizona, New Mexico.
Yeah, bitch.
I know my geography.
Yes. The story of La Llorona is told to scare children into good behavior. Sometimes, specifically, to deter children from playing near dangerous water. Have you heard of the Devil's Cauldron?
No, I mean, I've heard of devil and I've heard of cauldron, but I didn't know devil had one, a specific one. His own personal cauldron. Had no idea.
I believe it's in Texas. I don't know why I thought of it. I guess because dangerous water, but I guess it's like this really deep under cave system where people like, because there's like a bunch of currents and everything. That
An
it's
under
super,
cave system?
You know what? I don't need that attitude right now. I'll see myself out.
Devil's Cauldron.
I'm pretty sure it's Devil's Cauldron.
There's one in Nevada. There's one in Oregon. There's one in...
I don't remember. I just remember that it's something called the Devil's Cauldron.
Like it's...
No, not that. Maybe it's not cauldron.
There's one in Oregon.
Jacob's Well, not Devil's Cauldron. I don't know why I was thinking of the Devil's Cauldron.
Jacob's Well.
Yes, look up Jacob's Well.
Ooh. Whoa, that's cool.
Yes.
So it's like a lake or a river, but at the end of the lake or river, it just has a giant, like, bore into the earth.
Yes.
Huh.
But it's got like a very elaborate, deep under cave system. And it's very dangerous. And like, I guess if you go underneath it, I feel like
You die?
Wow, you're hilarious. No. People will go like diving underneath it and like they'll get lost. And then I think there's like bodies under there.
Oh.
And it's just this creepy, like huge abyss straight into the ground.
Okay.
In Venezuela, La Llorona was a woman who had to raise her child alone after its father died in war. She eventually killed the child in frustration. Fucking Christ, you little piece of shit.
Yep.
Smother him.
That's probably exactly how it happened.
And her spirit now kidnaps and kills other people's children because she's so frustrated.
Yep.
Families traditionally placed wooden crosses above their doors to ward off such spirits. Which, okay, so my question. When you have like a named spirit, is it to say that there are multiple spirits that are like La Llorona? Like multiple women who have killed their children? Mm-hmm. Or is it to say that there's only the one?
Why could you not say there are multiple?
Well, I'm just saying, like, are there multiple La Lloronas? Multiple weeping women?
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Like it's a category rather than just one individual spirit.
No, I didn't do a lot of the research on this. In just my
I
opinion.
pose that question in general because there's so many spirits that are named.
Yeah, I think in my personal opinion, there's one La Llorona. It refers to a specific ghost or entity. And there are others that may be similar or like it, but they are not La Llorona. They are their own thing, but they can fall within a similar category.
Okay.
I don't know.
The story of La Llorona first appeared on film in 1933's La Llorona, filmed in Mexico.
Wonder how they came up with that name.
I don't know. Fucking geniuses. There's several other movies, but obviously the most notable one's going to be, what is it? The Curse of La Llorona? That was the most recent one?
Yep.
Yeah. What was that, like 2017, 2018?
I think it was 2019.
It was?
It was last year, yeah. I didn't see it.
It's in the Conjuring universe, which, as we all know, has just kind of tumbled downhill as if an avalanche has struck.
Gotten worse and worse. I did see The Conjuring. It was not too bad.
I didn't hate The Conjuring, and I didn't hate Annabelle Creation, but everything else was poopy. Big poopies.
'Twas poopies.
I would like to say that in Morgan Freeman's voice.
And everything was poopy.
Morgan, was it poopy? Oh, God, I hate everything.
I'm almost done with this beer. Woo!
Woo!
12.5.
Let's do drugs.
Okay, we don't go that hard on beer and fear.
Oh, sorry. What is it, man? That's it. She's just a bitch that murdered her kids. And she didn't get enough satisfaction from doing that, so now she murders other people's
Yeah, now
kids.
she haunts other people and murders their kids.
She said, Becky, come down to the waterfront.
Well, like I said, this
I see peace.
this topic was suggested by Stephanie. She told her personal account with La Llorona.
Let me just say real quickly, very quickly. She's a wonderful person, this lovely Stephanie. But if she doesn't listen to this goddamn episode,
No, I'll make her listen to it.
she better.
She talked about her personal experience with La Llorona.
Oh, that's crazy.
She didn't have, not an experience like that. Just how La Llorona has been in her life.
Sure.
In the form of her mother telling her tales of La Llorona.
Sure.
And saying that if you stay out too late, or if you, go wander off somewhere,
You go hang out on water.
yeah, La Llorona will get you.
Do they not apply to fountains?
Huh?
Ignore me.
And that was a serious thing, at least for her. So
What was like your childhood like ghost?
I don't think I had one.
No, I'm not saying like you had to be haunted, but like
Yeah.
for me, I was like really scared of the boogeyman after watching that Disney movie, The Boogeyman. Oh, that fucked me
I'm
up.
trying to think. I don't know if I ever had.
Like to the point where I would like jump up onto my bed
Oh,
because I didn't want like my feet to go near the edge.
yeah.
That's so scary.
I don't know if I had a specific one. But this was hers, and that's why she recommended it. And I had never heard of it, and I'm glad
I
we're
still
talking
can't
about
believe
it.
you never heard of it.
But I didn't quite know how to structure this episode. But I was
Wild and all over the place.
I was very surprised to see that there were a lot of personal stories regarding La Llorona online as well. And what I did, I actually asked her very nicely to pick out a few stories for us so that I could read them for the first time. So I have not read any of these.
Nice.
She picked these out. I wanted to read them for the first time and be just as surprised with you, Paige, and whoever may be listening.
Me, Paige.
So there are 5 stories here. I picked out one of them, but she picked out the other 4. So
You got a lot.
these are all personal encounters and stories that people had with La Llorona. This first one's called A Kansas Tale. Recently, while working as a copy editor for a newspaper, I came across a wire story about La Llorona that brought back memories of what happened to me while I was a student at Kansas State University in the early 1980s in Manhattan, and led me to your website where I read more about the legend. One evening, I went to a mobile home that I seem to remember being near a creek or river to visit a couple of my friends who were also attending K-State. As I walked into the door, I found them sitting on the sofa looking somewhat freaked out. They explained that just moments earlier, one of the bar stools was spinning and hopping around. As they were Mexican Americans, they wondered whether the La Llorona had anything to do with that incident. They explained the legend to me as I had never heard about it before. They would invite me to stay the night in a spare bedroom, which I did. Later in the night, a woman appeared to me, laying next to me in bed, and asked if I would know where her children were. It seemed that, while I may have been dreaming, I was half awake. Then I fully awoke and looked up towards the doorway just in time to see a dark figure seemingly looking at me and then quickly ducking back out of the doorway. Right then, that left me too scared to go check and see if that was one of my friends checking in on me, perhaps to see why I was talking in my sleep or something. I went back to sleep and waited until the morning to ask them if either one of them looked into my room during the night. Neither one did. So to this day, I do not know whether I really did experience a supernatural visit or if my dream and my mind played tricks on me. Submitted by Name and City Withheld, August 2006.
That's my favorite person.
Yeah, he seems like a nice guy. I think I heard about him before.
Yeah. I'm going to start going by name and city withheld. It's going to be really hard to fill out on like...
First name?
Yeah.
Name?
Imagine having that in like high school.
Middle name?
Trying to fill that out on like a
And city?
Scantron.
Hyphenated?
Yeah.
Last name withheld.
What's your email? Name and city withheld 6789 at msn.com.
Oh my god. Hold on. Pause. Oh, that wasn't the one we watched.
That's so much.
Let me see if I can find it. Hold on.
My brain is buffering.
Nope, can't find it. But it was essentially that. The second story.
Second story.
It's called An Attack by the Weeping Woman.
Okay.
When I was about 8 years old, I had just started becoming interested in all things paranormal. I was researching La Llorona when all of a sudden I heard a noise, so I decided to check it out.
As one is apt to do.
Sure. Then I heard it again. It sounded like it was coming from the bathroom, so I walked in and stopped at the sink. Then all of a sudden my head was pushed into the sink,
Damn.
and the water started to run. The sink finally filled all the way, and I was trying to breathe. Then I couldn't breathe anymore. I thought I was going to die of lack of oxygen. Sure, that's what happens when your head is submerged in water.
Yeah.
So I screamed and my mom came in. She pulled my head out after a struggle and hugged me tightly. She knew I wouldn't drown myself, so she started thinking. Then she froze and her face turned white. She screamed and almost fainted. I asked her what was wrong, and she said with a stutter, La Llorona.
La Bamba.
Submitted by Emily Ortiz.
La Bamba.
I'm not feeling that one.
I don't believe that one.
This one I picked out.
I am skeptical.
I didn't read this one. I just picked it up. A bizarre coincidence
I know.
of La Llorona. When I was in the 7th grade, I had a frightening dream. I saw myself standing on a dark road with the only illumination coming from a dim streetlight. The ground was wet, and in the distance, I could hear the sound of rain falling and the tap, tap, tapping of footsteps coming towards me. Peering into the darkness, I could make out a woman dressed in all black with a dark lacy veil covering her face moving towards me. Strangely, as the mysterious woman grew closer, so did the rain. When the woman was about 15 feet in front of me, she looked over my shoulder. When I turned around to see what she was looking at, I saw a young child dressed in a white nightgown playing with a doll in the middle of a puddle of water. When I turned back to her, she was right in front of me. The veil was lifted, her eyes were abnormally wide, and her face was no more than 3 inches away from mine. Her terrifying eyes stared into mine dead on until I awoke in a panic. I looked towards the window. It was raining. As you can imagine, I didn't sleep for the rest of the night. The next day, I shook off the dream and thought nothing more of it until a year later. On that night, I was spending the night with my friend Veronica. Oh, Veronica. Who is Hispanic. Began to tell us some of the legends. Oh, wait, hold on. I was spending the night with my friend Veronica, who had also invited another friend named Sarah. In the course of the evening, Sarah, who is Hispanic.
Wow, you really jumped around on that one.
Began to tell us some of the legends and ghost stories of the Mexican culture. When she began to tell the tale of La Llorona, I didn't think anything of it at first. Then she began to tell how the legendary spirit travels by water, dressed in all black or white, and is most always seen wearing a veil. Sarah continued by telling us that La Llorona lifts her veil only to her victims, that in their afterlife she has chosen to help her find the bones of her lost children. Now I constantly wonder if in my afterlife I will be forced to help her find the bones of her lost children.
Bitch, you shouldn't have drowned them.
Submitted by Tonya Apilar of Eureka, California, November 2005.
Eureka!
This one is called Did I Really See La Llorona?
No.
A California version. I don't think anyone has ever heard of the city that I live in the suburbs of a small valley town called Lompoc, California. Lompoc, California. Lompoc. Well, the story of La Llorona that I know was that she was a prostitute, and every time she would have a child, she would take it to a creek and drown it. Before long, she was murdered by one of our customers and sentenced by God to wander the rivers and streets of the world looking for her children. La Llorona became so upset that she cried and cried, eventually drying her eyes out, leaving 2 black holes where her eyes once were, and her mouth grew incredibly large, resembling that of a horse. The legend continues that if she heard a child crying, she would come for them thinking it was one of her own. When I was a child of 8 children, my family would warn us that La Llorona was outside waiting. During the day, we might cry when we heard this, but as the sun started to die, we were too scared to even walk alone through the house, thinking she might have heard us and was waiting in a dark corner. One night, when I was about 8 years old, I was terribly angry at my mom, and she made me sleep with her that night. However, I was so upset that I couldn't sleep, and La Llorona was the last thing on my mind. However, as I tossed and turned, I looked to the foot of the bed, and there stood a lady in a black dress with purple trim. She had 2 black holes where her eyes should have been, and an enormous grin on her face. She had long, straight black hair that looked like it was blowing in the wind. The weird part was that I wasn't scared. I just sat up in bed staring at her for a good 5 minutes. When she wouldn't go away, I finally got tired and fell asleep. It wasn't until the next morning that I got scared, and strange things seemed to happen to me in that house ever since. This house is said to be buried, probably should say to be buried, over an old Indian Spanish cemetery. Submitted by Nisi of Lompoc, California. Last story. Mm-hmm. It's called Cries in the Night. When I was 12 years old, in 1991, my parents separated and my mother moved me and my brother to Monterrey, however you want to say that, Mexico. In the winter, all 3 of us would sleep in the same room because there was no central heating, only electric heaters. There were 2 beds for my mother and brother. I slept on the floor in a sleeping bag next to my mother's bed. One night, around 2:30 in the morning, I woke up because I had been dreaming about my great-grandma. She kept calling my name 3 times, to be exact. Just a few minutes later, I heard the scariest screams coming from down the street. It was horrible. The cries continued, each time coming closer. I was so horrified that I could not even wake my mother, who was laying right next to me. I was so scared, I did not even blink. It was the most evil cry I have ever heard. Finally, it passed my house and slowly faded away. The next day, I told my mother, you know, I didn't believe in stuff like this, especially not La Llorona. After that night, I do. Huh. Huh.
I'm sleepy.
You are sleepy.
Can you see it in my eyes?
Those are some cool stories.
I feel like I'm powering down.
I think, I don't know, folklore, legends, scary shit, like Jersey Devil, you know?
Mm-hmm.
There's something for every sort of geographical thing. And this is another one of them. And it was cool to research this and learn about it. I never heard about it before. I didn't watch the shitty movie that came out last year. So
You have to now. It's so bad.
I recommend, if you're still listening, the BuzzFeed Unsolved video. Just look
those
up
are good.
BuzzFeed Unsolved La Llorona. Very, very funny. I like their videos.
Mm-hmm.
They're good. But that's my segment. Those are my stories. Thank you, Steph, for picking those out. And thank you, White Pony Brewery, for making this beer that we were very lucky to try.
Yes, we were lucky to try. And let me ask, what did you think of the beer?
It was very spicy, dark, malty, mildly sweet, very dark ale. And tasted like I was drinking a stout, like I mentioned, or a porter. Very, very similar flavor and palate, which I usually enjoy. However, this one was, I mean, it's not a stout or a porter. It was just so far off from what I'm used to that I don't think I was a big fan of it. I don't think you were either.
No.
Correct?
I took 2 sips.
Yeah, it's okay.
Not
It's
a fan.
decent. It's a good beer.
I'm not very impressed
I
with it.
always try to give these breweries, benefit of the doubt or whatever you want to call it.
Sure.
You know, you shouldn't disparage a brewery and their level of skill and, you know, the beer that they make and how proud of it they are just because you don't like something. If you don't like it, you don't like it. That's fine. But it doesn't mean it's a bad beer.
Sure.
Just not our thing.
Exactly.
But if you live anywhere near Wheeling, the Benny's there has, they should have, since I bought 2, 10 bottles of this left, according to the person I spoke with on the phone. If you're so inclined, check it out. Grab a bottle. Try it. It's decent. Maybe you'll like it more than us. We are on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Reddit. We post... Oh, damn it.
Oh, damn it.
I gotta remember to take a photo of that. We post pictures of our beer and pictures of Paige's animals on our Instagram. And then new updates for every new episode that comes out every week, Wednesday at noon. You can follow us on Facebook and Twitter to look at those. And we have a Reddit sort of playlist thing where you can view all of our episodes and listen to them there. And then we're available on pretty much every single popular podcast platform, including Spotify. We're on YouTube. We're on Google and Apple Podcasts as well. And then, if you're so inclined, send us an email at, beerandfearcast@gmail.com. beerandfearcast@gmail.com. We got our flights sitting up there still. Maybe one day we'll do some with those. If you have personal, scary, or spooky stories, send them our way and then recommend a beer with your story. We will read your story on our show and try your beer recommendation. It's a cool little fun thing we came up with. We haven't gotten to do yet, but hopefully if we get enough emails and stories from listeners who have them, send them our way. We can do that. And if you just want to reach out and say hi, feel free. Email or Facebook or message us, whatever you want to do. You can give us a call, 630-824-9713. That is our Beer and Fear hotline. If you want to text us, call us, whatever, we'll get right back to you. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Good day.